Welcome to Augmented Voices. We're all about exploring, that really fascinating kind of overlap between AI and human collaboration.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be taking a deep dive into a whole bunch of new developments in AI. We've got news articles, we've got research papers, even some investor reports.
Right.
It seems like all signs point to AI becoming more than just a tool,
Yeah.
like more of a partner.
It really is an exciting time to be in this field. I mean, the pace of innovation is just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really touching so many different areas. Like, for example, we've got this story about AI actually like stepping into the classroom as a teacher.
AI teachers, is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's happening in Arizona. They're running this pilot program using platforms like IXL and Khan Academy to actually lead instruction in core subjects for grades 4 through 8.
Wow. So how does that even work? Are there no human teachers in this model?
Not completely. It looks like it's more of a hybrid approach.
Okay.
So students have 2 sessions every day with the AI platforms.
Yeah.
That's like for more personalized learning. And then they have workshops led by, actual humans, mentors who focus on life skills and social emotional development.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they recognize AI can do the personalized stuff really well, and track your progress, but the human element is still important for development at that age.
Exactly. I mean, it really does raise a question, though. What does this mean for the future of education?
Right.
Is this the beginning of some big shift in how we learn?
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting questions there. I mean, on one hand, the potential benefits are just enormous. Imagine every student getting a learning experience that's totally tailored to their needs and pace.
Wow.
AI could analyze huge amounts of data, to figure out where students are struggling and give them that extra help.
Almost like every student having their own personal tutor.
Exactly. But, of course, there are some downsides to think about, too.
Like what? What kind of downsides?
Well, you got to be careful about bias in the algorithms.
Oh, right.
If the AI systems are trained on biased data, it could actually make existing inequalities in education even worse. And we also have to think about the human connection, mentorship. Can AI really encourage things like critical thinking and creativity and collaboration the same way a human teacher can?
Those are all really good points. I mean, it seems like we're still early on in figuring out what AI can do in education, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. It's going to be fascinating to see how the technology develops and how educators figure out how to use it, how to work with both its potential and its limitations.
Yeah. Speaking of adapting, let's switch gears from the classroom to the world of social media.
Okay.
Apparently Meta, the folks behind Facebook and Instagram, they kind of stumbled recently when they tried to introduce AI-generated profiles.
AI profiles. That's interesting. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, according to Connor Hayes, Meta's VP of Product for Generative AI, the idea was to boost user engagement and content creation with these AI profiles.
Wrong.
So imagine scrolling through your feed, and you see profiles that look and act just like real people, posting, commenting, even creating original content.
Yeah.
But it's all AI.
So basically, bots pretending to be real users.
Right.
Sounds like it could cause some confusion and distrust,
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. There was this massive public backlash. People were concerned about authenticity and transparency.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, social media is already kind of tricky when it comes to knowing what's real and what's not, right? Adding AI into that mix just makes it even more complicated.
For sure. It definitely backfired big time.
Yeah.
Meta had to delete the AI profiles quickly. And, I'm sure they went back to the drawing board after that.
It just goes to show that even these huge tech companies can get it wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
They misjudged how people would feel about AI being integrated into something as personal as social media.
Yeah, it seems like there's this fine line between AI making social media better and it just feeling kind of creepy. People want real connections online.
Yeah.
And anything that messes with that is going to get pushback.
Right. Authenticity and trust, they're so important in any social setting, and that's something AI developers really need to keep in mind.
All right, let's move on to something a little more on the technical side. Have you heard of Alibaba's Qwen team?
I haven't.
They've had this breakthrough in open source AI.
I'm always interested in open source AI. It makes these powerful tools accessible to more people, and that's when you see real innovation.
This particular model is called QVQ72B Preview, and it's doing some pretty amazing things. It's got advanced visual reasoning, and it's solving complex problems in fields like math and physics.
Wow, this isn't like just a chatbot or something. This is
Yeah.
AI that can understand and solve real scientific problems. What makes this one so special?
Well, one thing is its ability to process and reason visually.
Okay.
That's a big step forward. Imagine showing this AI model a diagram of some complicated physics problem, and it not only gets the concepts, but it can actually solve the problem step by step, just like a human expert.
That's incredible. The possibilities with a tool like that are huge.
Exactly. And since it's open source, that means anyone, businesses, researchers, anyone working on these complex problems can use it.
Right.
Think about the possibilities in fields like, I don't know, pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
AI could be analyzing complex molecular structures to develop new drugs.
Right.
Or in aerospace engineering, where it could help design more efficient aircraft. It's really cool.
It's like giving all these industries a whole new set of eyes and a brain, you know? The potential is really exciting.
It shows how AI can go beyond just automating things. It can actually augment, boost human ingenuity and push the boundaries of what we can do.
And the open source part means that the whole global research community can get involved, make it better, which could make progress even faster.
Yeah. This seems to be a trend we're seeing a lot with AI, right? Democratizing access to these powerful tools and encouraging collaboration.
Right.
And speaking of democratizing access, our next story takes us into the world of coding. AI and coding, they're getting more and more connected all the time.
They really are.
Have you heard about this company called AnySphere?
I haven't.
They're doing some really cool things with their AI coding assistant called Cursor.
Oh, Cursor. I think I have heard of that. Isn't that the one that just got a ton of funding?
Yeah. They recently closed a Series B funding round for $100 million, which gives them a valuation of $2.6 billion. That's a pretty clear sign that investors are really confident in the future of AI-powered coding.
It makes sense. The benefits for businesses are just massive. More productivity, fewer errors, faster development. It's all about staying ahead in the tech world, right?
And it's not just these specialized tools like Cursor. Even GitHub, the platform that basically every developer uses.
Yeah.
They're making their AI coding assistant, Copilot, free to use within Visual Studio Code.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Making something that powerful free could really help people who are just starting out with coding. It could also help experienced developers write better code.
It's like having a virtual coding mentor right there with you, guiding you through the process and helping you learn as you go.
It shows you how AI can be used to actually enhance human capabilities and make knowledge and skills more accessible, not just take over jobs.
It's really amazing to see how these AI developments are changing so many different fields, from education to social media, even to the way we write code.
It just shows how fast things are moving in AI and the huge potential this technology has to change our world in so many ways.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about all the changes this could bring, right? Like
Yeah.
that open source AI model from Alibaba, for example, making a tool like that available to everyone, that could really shake things up in a lot of industries.
Absolutely. It's like a seed for a whole ecosystem of new solutions driven by AI. We could see breakthroughs in, medicine, energy, environmental science. Who knows? There are so many possibilities.
It shows how important it is to think about how we use AI, not just the technology itself. The open source approach is great because it's all about sharing knowledge and working together.
It's a very different way of thinking about AI. It's not this exclusive thing controlled by a few big tech companies anymore.
Exactly. And that's happening in other areas too, like with GitHub making their AI coding assistant, Copilot, free to use.
Right.
It's giving people who are just starting out a chance to learn, and it's giving experienced developers a powerful new tool.
It's like having a virtual coding mentor to help you.
Yeah. And that's really what AI is all about, helping people reach their full potential, not replacing them.
It's really incredible to see how all of this is unfolding.
It really is. We're living in a time of amazing technological progress. The future's full of possibilities. But of course, you know what they say. With great power comes great responsibility.
That's so true. It makes me think about something that's been on my mind this whole time. As AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, how do we make sure it's used ethically, responsibly? The stakes are so high.
That's the big question, isn't it? It's something we all need to be talking about and figuring out. We need rules and ethical frameworks for how AI is developed and used.
It's not just about preventing AI from doing bad things.
Right.
It's about making sure everyone benefits from it, that it doesn't create more inequality.
Yeah, we have to think about the impact AI will have on jobs and privacy and even how we think about ourselves. It's important to have open and honest conversations about these things and include lots of different voices. This shouldn't just be decided by a few people in Silicon Valley.
AI is going to change the world, that's for sure. It's up to us to make sure those changes are positive. We need to be proactive.
I agree. I think that's a great point to end on. We've looked at some amazing advancements in AI, revolutionary ways of teaching and incredible tools for coding. But the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped right now. And we all have a part to play in making sure it's a good future.
So true.
It's been a really interesting look at how AI is changing so fast.
It has. And to our listeners, we encourage you to keep learning about AI and join the conversation about how to develop and use it responsibly. Your voice matters. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
I love that. Let's embrace the possibilities, talk about it, and shape the future of AI together.
Thanks for joining us on Augmented Voices. Keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.